to infinity and beyond. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about the new movie Lightyear. Lightyear is directed by Angus MacLane, who has done a lot of Pixar spin-offs and short films in lieu of the bigger Pixar movies, but he also directed Finding Dory. I really enjoy Pixar movies and I'm a huge fan of Toy Story and Buzz Lightyear, so I wanted to check this one out. The synopsis is as follows. Legendary Space Ranger Buzz Lightyear embarks on an intergalactic adventure alongside ambitious recruits Izzy, Mo, Darby, and his robot companion, Socks. Without further ado, let's get into the 6 things that make a movie great. 1. The plot. The plot of this movie wasn't too bad. Buzz and his Space Ranger partner, Alicia Hawthorne, are scouring the galaxy looking for an inhabitable planet for their colony, who are all in cryosleep as they wait for Buzz and Alicia to find a planet. While they're searching a planet, Buzz ends up making a mistake that makes them have to stay on this planet until they repair their ship and find a stable fuel that can power the ship. When Buzz gets back from the first test flight, he realizes that for every test flight he does, 4 years passes on the planet, while only 4 minutes has passed on his test flight. From that point on, Buzz and Alicia work together to try to solve this issue, but Buzz also ends up working with Alicia's granddaughter, Izzy Hawthorne, and a ragtag crew to try to face the issues and complications that come up along the way. The framework for this plot was actually pretty good, and some of the concepts that they included caught me off guard. I thought it was pretty well done for a kids movie, to the point where I actually really enjoyed the concept that this film offered. So plot gets a thumbs up. 2 is family friendliness. This adventure/family movie is rated PG and it's catered towards kids. That being said, I'm going to address the elephant in the room because there's been a lot of talk about what this film has in it. Yes, this film has a lesbian couple in it, including Alicia Hawthorne. No, it has nothing to do with the plot. And no, it doesn't last very long either. It's only for about 1.5 to 2 minutes of the actual film. So why did they include it in the film? I have no idea. The why behind this is what bothers me. This is a kid's movie, and the inclusion of this that has nothing to do with the story or the plot or anything is for adults. It's to check a box for adults that care about it. And because of that, you're having it banned in different countries, you're having a huge divide here over whether or not to go see the film. But because of the director's choice to include this 1.5 minutes of the film, you're left with this dilemma of asking yourself this question. Because your kids will come to you asking questions. Like, why are there 2 women kissing on screen? How is one of them pregnant when they're both women? Whether you care about it or not, I don't agree with the director's decision to include this because this is for kids and it had nothing to do with the story. The rest of this film is family friendly. There's some action, there's some violence, there's no profanity. So purely because of that 1.5 minutes included in this film, I have to give family friendliness a 50-50. You have to decide. 3 is acting and script. I thought the voice actors in this film did a good job. Chris Evans delivered a pretty great performance as Buzz Lightyear. I'm pretty bummed that it wasn't Tim Allen because I've grown up hearing Buzz voiced by Tim Allen, but it sounded pretty good to have Chris Evans in it as well. Everybody else did a pretty decent job. Taika Waititi voiced Mo, and I gotta say, while I like Taika Waititi, his performance as Mo was really annoying. I know that in a lot of movies made for kids, there's an annoying character, and the kids oftentimes love that character, much to the dismay of the parents. So I understand it, but it just wasn't my favorite performance of his. But my favorite character in this movie is Socks. Not just because I love cats, but because Peter Sohn does a great job voicing him. His lines of dialogue are great, his interactions with Buzz are great, and it was honestly my favorite voice performance in this film. The script of this movie, however, is a little interesting. A lot of animated content has really been dumbing down their scripts so that there's no elevated humor, there's no intelligent humor, there's no sign of intelligent life anywhere. And I kind of felt that present in this film as well. It just seemed like there was a lot of empty dialogue and kind of borderline nonsense in the film. And even though it's a kids movie, I don't think that it has to be that way. But overall, I have to give acting and script a 50-50. 4 is character development. Honestly, I saw what they were trying to do with this film as far as character development goes. The story arc of Buzz is one that tries to teach the importance of teamwork and of trusting others, but I wasn't really convinced by that. While they kind of built up that idea, it just really seemed to transition extremely quickly, and I didn't really feel the character transformation that Buzz was going through with it. Children can understand concepts sometimes better than we can, and I think they could have done a better job with this film. As expected, Zurg plays the main antagonist in this film. They decided to do something with him that I did not see coming, and I gotta say, while I was hesitant to accept it at first, I ended up really liking the concept of what they did with his character. He wasn't very well developed, but it was just enough to make him a decent villain in a kid's movie. But other than that, there wasn't a ton of character development present. So character development gets a 50-50. 5 is visuals and CGI. The animation in this movie is fantastic. Obviously, Pixar is adept at animation, so I expected nothing less. It just really seems like it continues to get better and better and better as we get older, and it is such a joy to see because it's awesome. The explosions looked great, the fight scenes were well choreographed visually. I always just found myself amazed at what Pixar and Disney can do with their animation, and this movie did not disappoint. Visuals and CGI get a thumbs up. And 6 is rewatchability. This movie is an hour and 45 minutes long, and I felt like the runtime was pretty appropriate for what this movie was. I went to go see this movie with my grandma, so it was just a fun time to spend with her, and I didn't find myself thinking that this movie was dragging at any point or that it had any pacing issues. I thought overall it was pretty decent. I definitely feel like they could have done a better job with certain things, which would have made it more rewatchable, but I think they did a serviceable job. So rewatchability gets a 50-50. With all things considered, I have to give Lightyear a 6.5 out of 10. This movie had fantastic animation, some really funny moments, especially with socks, and a serviceable plot that kept you engaged throughout the film. The character development wasn't great, I didn't feel a ton towards the characters, and the feeling I had at the end of the film was just this movie was alright. But because of what this film decided to include, and because its main demographic is your kids, I can't direct you one way or the other about whether to go and see this film. So that's purely your decision, and I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. If you've seen Lightyear, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. As always, I appreciate your love and support, and I'll catch you guys and gals in the next one.